finally took the time to dig out my dahlia tubers. Those here have already been washed. I dug them up yesterday. I washed them outside. I want to divide them today already, but before I start doing that, I want to just let you guys know how the digging went yesterday. So I went to the plot, I started digging the dahlias in there first, and I was actually quite surprised by how many tubers a lot of them have produced. A lot of them are small, like this one for instance, because you know, I didn't really take a lot of care of the garden there. I didn't water all the time. I was gone for a month in the summer, and I was not expecting for the tubers to produce a lot, but I had some over tubers that got like lots of tubers. So I went there, I dug it all up, I put it in my little cart to bring it home, still with the dirt in them. The water in the plot is already shut off for the season. So I got home and I washed them up. I wanted to do this video outside, but unfortunately we're having construction next door, and they actually removed the whole fence that divides our little apartment to the next door house. I do not want to be out there if it's too exposed, so I'm doing this inside. Here's how many I actually ended up with. It is a lot, but I did lose a lot too, and I think I might have to throw out that one. I found some disease in some of the tubers. I had one of them here in my backyard that had gall, leaf gall, or root or crown gall, I'm not sure. I saw those little cauliflower like things sprouts, and I didn't even want to question it. I immediately put in the toss pile. And then I also have found, unfortunately, some in the plot, some of them that had root knot nematode damage. I did know that I have a root knot nematode problem. I've noticed sometimes when I was pulling out plants that I saw the little swollen roots before, but I did not know they will affect my dahlias. I still have them outside. They're all wet right now. I can see it. I hope they don't just rot. But anyway, I can do with that right now. But we'll deal with the ones that I have here. So the ones that I was able to harvest. You know, some of them also, as I keep pulling them out, have some broken necks. You know, they're a little bit soft. I think that happened when I was trying to pull them out. Maybe also I broke this. I didn't have the best tool to pull this up, so I accidentally did some damaging there. But for now, let's try to divide this up. Let's see if I can properly store them and save them to the winter. I'm also still trying to figure out what is the best way to do this. So I think I'm going to start with my bigger tubers first, the ones that I really want to save and they look healthy, like this Cornell bronze here. It's looking good. The tubers are very nice and firm. I don't see a lot of shrinkage yet. I can see the mother tuber here, the older one, usually looks darker and a bit thicker the skin, and there's lots of eyes. So I'm gonna try to start dividing with this one. I will remove this stalk I just left so it's easier for me to handle, but I also don't have a really good way to label them, so I think I'm just going to label every individual tuber, just write on them. Let's start with this one. Okay, so I just emptied this container over here, and I'm going to divide all of this first and label. So just let you know, this is only my second time doing this. I did it last year and I didn't divide them prior. I just put them away and then just shivered and died. So this time did a lot more research, and I'm going to show you guys what I've learned. So first, I guess we're supposed to take out all those little roots outside. This scissor also has been sanitized, so I use a little bit of rubbing alcohol to sanitize it, and I'm going to do that in between each tuber just to make sure that if there is anything, I'm not contaminating the whole thing, if there's any disease that I don't know about, you know. So first, let's take all of this little root stuff, rootlets or little long roots out. There's still lots of dirt in here. I did my best to try to wash them, but some of them were still a bit difficult. There's a string on this one. Interesting. Okay, put that in the corner. Cut these guys up. Alright, from here, one of the reasons I don't want to do them whole also is just because I don't want to lose all the tubers. If I can maybe put them separately, I could save some or still use some for next year. So hopefully that will be the case. But after this, because I'm supposed to cut out all the ones that I can already see that's broken. There's one broken here, which is a broken neck. It says very soft, it's not holding, so that one's gonna come out. And let's see how many tubers we'll be able to get from this one clump. So unfortunately, if it's fair form and good, I wish it was not broken, but that was if the neck's broken, they won't sprout. So now I'm gonna cut this top here. And I learned this from the Florette video series. She did a little mini course on Dahlia, so I watched that and I'm trying to follow her instructions along with some other Dahlia girls that I have been following. So let me cut this big one first. I can see one here that has an eye. See, the eye is this little bump. This guy over here, it's an eye. So this is kind of growing on top of the other ones. I'm gonna go ahead and already cut this area here with the stem. And separate them super gentle because I don't want to break any more necks. And then this guy, so big eye here, this tuber is soft, so I'm gonna cut it off so it doesn't risk infecting this guy. It's a little soft too, so I don't know. I'm gonna leave it out and see. So usually there's many eyes, can have many eyes for tuber, but there's a really big one here. See another one here. I'm gonna cut right here. Just hope for the best. So this is our first one. Maybe I'll cut the bottom too. And I think it's a good size, little, but it's a good size. I'm just gonna lay over here on the side. I also learned that after you cut them, you can't put them away right away. You gotta wait a few hours again, so make sure that this is all dried up. So that's what I'm going to do. That's one there. And then we're gonna keep going. This one is a discard. And let's see. This one I'm gonna try. It looks like an easy one because it's really big. And I see eyes in here too. I'm not really trained for this, but I find it easier than I thought to find the eyes. So not on the neck, but over here on the crown, you have, and sometimes attached to these other ones, but I see a big eye here, see an eye here, see an eye. This tuber has one here and one here. Hopefully you can see, but I'm gonna try to cut that off the crown with the eyes too. Let's see if I can do that. Oh, that was easy. Okay, very nice. So there's a few eyes up here, which is good. So that's number 2. Also, I read that sometimes if you cut in half, it's easier to divide. Oh, I want to see first if I can take some out individually. I'll take this one that it's already labeled. I see an eye there. There we go. So this is number 3. This guy also broke the bottom. I'm gonna cut the bottom off. Hopefully it's okay and they heal. And then now I'm getting a little afraid because it looks like they're pretty tied up in there. This one looks pretty good. Maybe I'll have to cut this out. Let me cut this stem out. Oops. I have no idea what that went to. Oh well, I'll find it later. That just flew off. Maybe made it easier to take this guy over here. This is a sharp scissor with a point and I think it's helpful. That's great. Whew, I really have high hopes for those this year. I'd love for them to survive the winter. So that's number 4. Let's keep going here. Turn around. I'm gonna clean this, actually. Okay, this guy has lots of eyes, but there's some tubers attached in the back. Starting to get a little harder. This looks good, but there's tubers in the back too. I think I'm gonna remove this big mother tuber. It has an eye here. Some people say it's not planted, but I have no idea. I'm gonna try to save it anyway. I think it's okay. There's an eye here, and I'll leave this on the side. Sometimes there's eyes on the stem, but I think there's enough on the crown that I might not need this. I'll try to maybe divide this in 2. Alright, hopefully it's okay. Let's go with this side first. See, one eye. It'd be nice to have more than one eye, so I, you know, for precaution, but hopefully that will be okay. It's looking a little rot. So I see one eye there. Let's hope for the best. Put this one here. These two are interesting. Take this little one out already. But they're growing the opposite ways. See if I can separate this. Oh, alright, it worked. Very nice. This one has multiple eyes. I'll leave it as this because it's just for higher chances. And this is a really big... I hope you guys are seeing what I'm doing because I'm actually looking at the dahlias, not at the camera. But there's a big eye in here, another one here. I'll just separate this whole thing. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 so far. Let's do this one here now. Try to bring it closer to you guys. So, see an eye here. And this one is the other way. I think there's an eye here. And these other two here, those two, I like to maybe separate them so I can keep that eye there. And I don't know about this guy. This looks a little hard. But let me start with the one that seems the easiest. Actually should be this back one over here. So I'm gonna go here. Just cut this up and here. So much dirt in between still. See a line here, I think. Another one here, I think. So I'm not sure about this. Maybe those are eyes. I don't know, but I'm still gonna keep it. Don't know if I should rinse off the rest of this dirt. I don't think so, actually. Not sure. Maybe I will. Okay, get that out of the way. And then let's do this 3 over here. This guy has a really easy eye to see. You see? The little bump over here, mostly if it's, you know, a pimple. So that's a good one. And I see another one right next to it for this smaller guy. So I'm gonna try to cut in half. Oh, there's another one here, but let's do like this. See if there's any others in the back. There's an eye here, right here, big eye. So maybe I'll leave that there. See if it will happen. Maybe not. It looks a little rotten here. I don't know. Well, let's see again. And then this guy, last one. This was one tuber. This is Cornell Browns. That's the one that produced the most. It was the healthiest, produced lots of flower in my garden. So 2 here. I'm gonna go right in the middle. Ah, scary. Okay. 1, 2. And this is the last one. This looks a little soft over here, I'm afraid. Cut that off. Tuber feels firm, which is a good thing. And I think, is it attached to any eyes, or did I cut all the eyes off? I might have cut all of the eyes off. So maybe this won't be viable, but maybe I'll save it anyway. All right, let's see how many we got from this run. And this is the maybe one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow. And 1 lost tuber. Possibly 2. Whew, that would be great. I won't have space for 12 Cornell Browns plants, but I can always share with my neighbors, so that's a good thing. The ones that are questionable, these 3, I'll keep it like this. And the ones that are prime, I'll keep it like this. So now I'm just going to label all of these before I start another one, because I don't have a very good storing system at the moment. So I could just do CB for Cornell Browns, but I'm just gonna write it. My other Cornell, unfortunately, had root knot nematode, so I am not going to probably save it. So it's very sad. Since we are going to now move to another dahlia, I'm gonna wash this. Even though, you know, it's gonna make contact in here. It's hard to keep it super sanitized with limited space, but we'll try our best. At least where I'm cutting in here, I guess should be okay. Next, I want to do this Morn Dahlia because it looks the second healthiest. So we're gonna do that next. So I'm going to repeat the same process. I'm going to take out the broken tubers, the loose ones with broken neck, take out the top, and then try to divide them all up. I think I got some bad news on these ones. I am not liking the color that I'm seeing inside. See how yellow it is? It's feeling slightly softer than those guys there. I'm afraid they're actually rotten. Look at this guy. So what I'm gonna do to maybe confirm my suspicion, this one that I didn't have an eye, I wanna kind of cut into it. Oh, it's fine. This one was perfect. Oh, I wish this one had an eye. Hopefully they will be okay, so hope for the best. I'll cut this one also fine. Okay, see how nice and white is inside? Alright, maybe it's not too bad. I'm gonna label them and save them also, and we'll see. This one we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I'm not super hopeful about this. This feels a lot better. Okay, let's move on to another one. I'm gonna do peaches and cream next because I thought they were so beautiful. I love that variety. And that was one of the ones that was a bit expensive, at least from the source that I got. So I'll love to at least save a few tubers. It's not looking great compared to the other ones, but I'll try my best. And I think I damaged a couple of them when I was trying to pull it up too, which is very sad. But if you can get at least a few, I'll be very happy. So let me repeat this whole process with this one. Those are very long tubers. Okay, now we're facing a small problem, which some of the labels kind of got mixed up here. So the other ones might be mystery. This one is a labyrinth. I did write that in there because I couldn't find the tag, but I remember by the location that she was a labyrinth dahlia. It's beautiful, one of my favorites this year too. Not great for cutting. You would wilt very fast on the vase, but it's still gorgeous to be on the plant and just overall beauty. So I definitely want to grow this again. This has a very interesting, looks like it had a stem in here and then another one here. Hopefully it's not rotten or anything inside. There's a lot of clusters of tubers. So this is the last one I'm gonna do it with you guys because I can understand this can get a little repetitive. I'm gonna finish this one up and work on the other ones that are not labeled, and then show you guys at the end how everything is looking. It's the next day. I ran out of time yesterday and sunlight, but I'm going to show you guys how things are looking right now. Basically everything is mostly separated and put away. It's looking like a mess over here. I need to reorganize. I have this cloth here because I covered them before I went to bed. I was afraid some of these guys were going to dry, but they did okay. They feel firm and nice. I'm happy. It worked out. And I ended up using more plastic than I anticipated. So this might be cringy for some of you seeing me using so much plastic, but I'm going to tell you what happened and why I decided to do that. My original plan was to store them in this tub over here with some peat moss. But then I saw that it was too deep and it was getting kind of foggy. I was afraid they were going to get all rotten in there. Plus, if they were all together there, they might all, contaminate each other. Now I kind of have the majority separate in here, and there's a lot of them in there. So after I decided I was not going to use that anymore, I started filling up this tube over here, this tub, sorry, with divided tubers. So I'm not going to take it out right now. Let's see if I can find a tuber so you can just see. Yeah, there's one here, another one here. There we go. So not touch them too much, but there's like about 2 layers of tubers in here. Like put some peat moss, put the tuber, covered peat moss, more tubers and peat moss, and that was it. But then that left me left over with all of this, guys. I had so much left. So I was researching and I decided to do a few things differently. I had this little Ziploc baggy thing here that I don't really use. We don't really do snacks, so I was like, I might as well just use this up. I'll reuse them later. And I used mostly with peat moss in here. It's slightly moistened, and then I'm leaving it open with a little bit, some of them, because I'm afraid it's gonna rot. But it's so dry here in my apartment because of our heater that I don't really know. Usually things tend to just desiccate, get so dry. So this will be an experiment. I'm a little afraid because so many of them. I love to have all of them survive the winter, but this is only my second time doing it. The first time I failed, so hopefully I'll have some success this year. But that's how things are looking. I labeled the baggies. Some of them that come from the bag last year, like this black satin, I saved some of the baggies and I just put them in here. I'll cover the neck better later before I close them all. But some of them put a lot of tubers because they're little, and I'll just put them under some more peat moss. But I wanted to show you guys, so I was about to finish this morning and decided to get the camera. And then on some other things that I've read is to do it in plastic wrap, in ceramic wrap. So a lot of plastic, but I guess if I'm trying to avoid them to get dry, I should try to give some moisture in there. So I wrapped some of them. So I have some Cornell bronze here, some Cornell bronze here, some Cornell bronze here. So they all kind of like in different spaces. So I have a higher chance to, have some survival rate. None of these worked, then maybe some of these will work, then maybe some of these will work, and so on. So that's mostly it. I still have all of this left. I don't have any more peat moss. I have this much here, but those guys are gonna divide it still too. I was a little tired, but I was thinking to just put some of them in the little bit bigger baggies like this, and the same variety, and cover it. By this time I'm a little tired. I saved my most precious varieties, the ones that I really want to grow. Those are white. I didn't really enjoy growing the whites. I did for the wedding, but still, I don't know. I think I like the ones with the peachy pink cream colors better, but I got good tubers for these ones, so I'll probably do some of them in plastic wrap since I ran out of peat moss, and I'll see what I'll do for the rest. This here is a seedling that I from my seeds that I saved from my Marin Dahlia last year. So I just labeled Mars Gardening Kitchen seedling. I have no idea if I'm gonna name it or not, but I was pulling them out and the tubers look so nice, and I was like, I'll save it. It's a single one, and it's kind of like a peachy cream melon color, so I'll see. Maybe I'll just plant in the front yard or something, but I didn't have the heart to throw it away. So this is what I have left to work with. And then this bucket over here, sorry about the mess, I have to clean everything up. It's with the discards. So these guys either like it didn't have an eye, or they look like they had rot in them, or had a broken neck. So it's a lot, this whole bucket. If I could have saved this, it would be a lot more dahlias too, but I ended up with this. I didn't count them. I'll probably count it later. And I will use this to store some of them too, maybe instead of this box, because I'm running out of space. I'll see. But I wanted just to give you an update on what I'm trying to do to have some success overwintering my tubers this year in a not very ideal condition, because I don't control the heat and I don't have an ideal storing space, but we'll try anyway and we'll see. So I'm going to now move them to our little basement. I try to find the coolest spot in there to put them in, and I'll keep checking on them every 2 weeks or 4 weeks or so, and hope for the best. Hope that some of them will make it through the winter and I'll be able to plant some beautiful dahlias next year. If you're curious to know the dahlia varieties that I grew this year, I'm going to link a video right here where I went through in the beginning of the year explaining all of the dahlias that I was planning to grow. And not all of them took, but most of them that you see in those pictures over there are the ones that I have saved here. So thank you so much for watching today. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.